You have to understand identity. It determines the quality of your life and your relationships. How to shift into a higher one? All right, stick around for the end of this video. I'm going to help you. Okay, welcome to Patty's World. I'm Patty. I'm a transformational and manifestation coach, and I help you shift into the highest version of you so that you align with all the desires of your heart. All right, I keep checking, looking down because I want to make sure my mic is on. All right, let's talk about identity shifting. Your identity is the image that you have of yourself, and we all have an identity. Your identity is created by the programming that was programmed into you by your parents, by culture, by teachers, by siblings, by family, by whatever you've experienced in your life and you've accepted to be true and real for you. If you believe this is true about you, that is your identity. And it could be based off of something your mom said that doesn't necessarily mean it's true, but she projected it onto you and you have now accepted it as your reality. Meaning, everyone in our family is this way. Everyone in our family doesn't do this. This is just the way we are. This is the way our culture is. This is the way the government is. This is the way society is. Blah, 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 blah. Those are all limiting beliefs that someone, including the news, including culture, including music, including TV shows, including our well-intentioned friends who are projecting their own limiting beliefs onto you because they live in fear and they're not awakened. And if you're watching my videos, you're awakened. And you understand what I'm talking about. So you're accepting other people's opinions and beliefs to be true about yourself, and you've created an identity. And what do I mean by identity? Your identity is whatever image you have of yourself. It is self-concept. The father of law of assumption, Neville Goddard, the father of law of assumption, teaches self-concept, concept of self. Whatever you believe to be true. Joseph Murphy teaches this as well, the power of your subconscious mind. Within your subconscious mind, you have imprinted beliefs about yourself, and they are just beliefs. And in your mind, in your conscious mind, you attach a meaning that it's good or it's bad. Life just is. The key, the shift is to intentionally imprint and impress upon your mind the beliefs and the identity that you choose. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. Here's the magic. Ready? Here's my magic wand. In this world, in this life, you are the utmost authority on you, not your mom, not your dad. They love you, or your siblings. They love you, but they're living in scarcity and lack and fear does not determine or define who you are. You get to choose who you are. And the mind is so powerful. Once you understand the power of your mind, and how to work with it and how to work with energy, it will transform everything. So you have an identity. Get very clear on what identity you have about yourself and what patterns and limiting beliefs you're living out, including, I'm always going to be single. I'm always treated this way. People always treat me this way in friendship and love. This is just the way it is. This is the way life is. If you're attaching a meaning, I want you to explore where you got that belief from. I bet you it was from someone who said something and you accepted to be true. And I have found, as I've gotten more into this, that there is a belief that someone has, but then I can also find the opposite to be true. And ask yourself this, if it's true and real for everyone in the world or only for some people. If there's an exception, that it's not true and real for everyone. There are always exceptions. So in my life, I get to decide what is true and real. I get to say that, yes, I'm healthy. Yes, I'm aging backwards. Yes, I'm happy. Things come into my life with ease and flow. Money isn't struggle. Money doesn't grow on trees. Whatever, whatever I can say, yeah, money grows on trees. Obviously, it's a metaphor, right? But you get to decide what is true and real in your reality. So the identity is, this is who I believe that I am right now, and this is what's playing out. And when you look at your circumstances, especially if you're going through something painful right now, a breakup, and usually I find the majority of my clients reach out to me because of a breakup or a situation in their love life. And really, they're just playing out an old identity wound where they're looking for approval or love or acceptance. The love or the sense of worthiness or the validation that they didn't get as a little kid, and so they're looking in their adult life for some external force, usually a relationship, to fill that void that they think they have, because you don't really have a void. I'm going to tell you right now, you are whole and complete. You were born whole and complete. You are an expression and an extension of God, source, the universe, that God of your own understanding. You're meant to have the desires of your heart. And if you embody yourself as a spiritual being having a human experience, you will live and anchor that belief in, and you will stop playing small. You will stop playing small when you allow yourself to dream big and trust yourself and imagine yourself, create the identity. If you were the ideal version of you, I want you to think about this. Have some fun with me right now. Create an image of yourself if you were the ideal version of you right now. If you looked the way you wanted to look, if you had the money that you wanted to have, if you lived in the house that you wanted to live, if you had the most amazing relationship, if you had the lifestyle, if you traveled where you wanted to, if you did what you wanted to do, if you had the level of happiness, if you were in shape, if you have friends who loved you and adored you, who would you be? Who would you be? How would you talk to yourself? How would you feel every day? What would be your habits? What would you be giving your energy and attention to? And what would you not be engaging? Because some things are not worth your time and energy. And when you raise your standards, raise your identity, and you shift into, I value my time and my energy, you no longer give yourself away. You stop playing small. Stop playing small means I don't give my time or my energy or my presence away to anyone, because I hold myself on a pedestal in high regard. I am intentional about what I give my intention and my love and my attention and my energy and pour my love and my goodness into, right? And we're all good. You're whole and complete. This whole thing that we need to be healed and there's something wrong with you. No, you can go through trauma and painful things, but why is there people who go through trauma and they're fine and use it for good? Or why are there people who get stuck in the identity of pain? And it's because they have created an identity of I'm a victim and struggle and pain, instead of using that for good and turning that into goodness. And you have the power to choose. You always have the power to choose. When you step into that power and create an identity of empowerment, of overcoming, of strength, of healed, of whole, of goodness, it will transform everything. You will push that out, and the mirror, the world of the five senses, will conform to reflect whoever you are being, your identity. So who are you in love? Who are you in business? Who are you in money? Who are you in relationships? Who are you in friendships? Who are you? You get to decide, not the world outside of you. My friend, I promise you, when I learned this, it was so transformational for me. And we're always in process, and I'm always asking myself, okay, what am I accepting to be true and what am I believing? Because I get to decide. And learn this phrase right here. It's powerful because I've used it with things that my mom has tried to place on me, that it's just the way we are, that this is the way you are, this is genetic, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't apply to me. Yeah, well, that doesn't apply to me. That doesn't apply to me. Has nothing to do with me. Not in my reality. That's not true for me. You get to say, and in your mind, create that block and say, that doesn't apply to me. Not in my reality. Misery loves company. People love to struggle together. And if they're struggling, they want to project their own struggles onto you and tell you, oh, yep, this is going to happen to you too. You can choose right now to say, no, that doesn't apply to me. That doesn't apply to me, not in my reality. Because I know people who it doesn't apply to, so I get to choose, doesn't apply to me, not in my reality. I'm healthy. I'm healthy, I'm powerful, I'm successful, I'm rich, I'm wealthy, I'm loved, I'm supported, I'm right, whatever. You get to determine who you are and who your identity is. There is a book, Psycho-Cybernetics, and it's all about identity, self-concept. I listened to it in an audiobook, and then I went back and read it. Transformational, whoever you believe you are. So let me ask you, who do you believe you are? What identity are you living to? Because if your identity is of a person who is mediocre and never gets what they want, that's the quality of your life and your circumstances and everything that you're aligning with. And when you understand your worth and value and you live from that identity, that is what you will draw in and call in into your life. That is the law. That's how it works. That's how it works. I promise you. It is transformational stuff. And the more you do this and practice this and see how easily it comes into your life, you're going to be blown away. So thank you for watching this video. I want to hear in the comments, what do you want me to talk about? Relationships, love, money, and I will respond in the next video. Thank you for joining me.